Welcome to another plugin review slash tutorial. This time for the LWC protection plugin. So I'm gonna explain how the configs are configured and how to use it in game. Let's start with the configuration, shall we? To start off, this is the files you get from putting the LWC protection plugin into the plugins folder and start up your server. Let's start with the core.im YALM, shall we? Welcome to this recreation of the config part. Let's start with the LWC config, the core IML file. Let's start. The locale AN says what locale it is. For example, EN means English. I believe that there are other languages to support, but I have no idea what languages are supported yet. These three are for advanced users, so I'm not gonna cover it. Show notices will show whenever you click on a protection whose protection it is. Show the notices that it's your protection. If an op is LWC admin, means that if an app is an op can access all the chests and such. Disable history will disable the history part of the LWC plugin. Townie borders are for the Townie plugin. It supports the Townie borders area. If you go outside a border, I believe that you can create a protection. The group prefix is the prefix for the group from the protection. Whoops. Update notifier will show notification in the in-game whenever there is an update available. These are optional. Only protect when owner is online. Will only protect the protections when the owner of the protections is online. If they go offline, then their protections will be open again for everyone to steal items. This is the same, but then in reverse. When a player is offline, the protection enables itself, and when the player is online, the protection will remove itself. This is for exempted blocks, so those are not taken in protection. Opt out. I'm not sure what it does, but I believe it's opt out of the system. Yeah, I don't know it for sure. Blacklisted blocks will blacklist some blocks from being protected. Blacklisted players will blacklist players so they cannot make protections. Use protection limits will use the limits that you can set in the configuration by giving the right perms to the player. The database, I don't change this because you don't need to change it. It's for advanced users that want to use another database than the SQLite database, or want to move the database to another location. Protections. Deny redstone if you want to deny a redstone signal from going through in a protection. Deny hoppers. I should enable this if I were you, because otherwise people can put hoppers underneath protected chests and then the chest will be emptied by the hopper. Auto register if they want to automatically register a protection. Ignore block destruction if the blocks are destroyed. If it should ignore it and let it be destroyed, otherwise it's protected. Ignore left click if left click doesn't do anything on the protection. Ignore right click, same as the left click. Ignore explosions when a creeper explodes and land damage occurs. And then this will, if it's ignoring, then it can be broken, I believe. and if it's not, then yeah, then it stays there like nothing happened. Allow entity break door allows zombies to break through doors if needed. Allow entity interact allows some mobs to interact with redstone secrets like doors or trapdoors or something like that. If it is quiet, so no messages. Read only modify and read only remove. I have no idea what this does. Blocks. This is for the protections if they are enabled and what is registered automatically. For example, the chest is enabled and it will automatically register it as private when upon placing the chest. Same counts for the furnace, dispenser and sign. By the way, the sign also protects the block behind it where it's connected to. Whenever it's enabled, you can just use the enabled, and yeah, that's for all the protection there is. There's a drop transfer. If you drop items on it, that it sucks the items in, and if it's in persistent modes. So let's go to the next config, which is doors.iml. If the doors are enabled, the iron doors I mean, that if you click on the door that the doors will be opened. If you protect a door and the other door too, then if you click one door then both open or not. This is the system choosing if you want to toggle the door, so if you click it and it's open, that it closes and reverse. And if you put open and close, then it will automatically close after an interval, which is here. It's amount of seconds that the door will automatically close again after opening. So let's go to the next one, the limits. These are the groups. For example, the default group has unlimited protections, but you can also override the permission groups that you enter in your permissions file with these. For example, sample group has default unlimited, but can only create 5 of the chest protections. And this is a total of 5 protections for that sample group too. You can also enable an override on the players. For example, Notch can create in default unlimited protections. You can also limit this to 5 or enter chest with 5 behind it, for example, to only create 5 chest protections but unlimited other protections. So that's the limits file. Then we have the magnet file, which is the magnet module. If you want to be enabled, when it's enabled you can trigger the magnet flag, and the magnet will suck in items thrown nearby. The radius that is searched for items they suck up. Per sweep says how much items per sweep it sucks in. It's not recommended to put a high value there, because then it can give lag. The blacklist of items that will not be picked up by the magnet mode. You can enter here items with their ID, so it doesn't suck them up again. And the last one, the WorldGuard IML file, is for if you use WorldGuard you can enable this. It's not a must. When it's enabled you can use regions with their permissions to allow or disallow the projections to be made. For example, only allow permissions allow protections with the if you're the owner, is over here. allow protections outside regions if you want to allow them to make a protections outside regions made by WorldGuard. Here are blacklisted regions where if a region exists called region 1 for example, in this blacklisted regions, then you cannot make protections inside the regions. And this is what protection regions can be made in these regions. If it's a star, then all regions default to allow them to make protections in them. That's it for the config part. Let's continue in-game with the rest of the tutorial. So welcome in-game. I'm here to show you how the LWC plugin protects your stuff. So let's start by creating a chest. I have set in the configuration to auto register the chest and auto register the furnaces. So as you can see, it will create a private protection. As soon as I destroy it, it will unregister the protections. You can also do this by hand to protections that are not through chests that are not protected yet. So for example, C private and then enter will lock it private, and then I right click or left click the item. Well, I right click and it will create the protection. So now it's protected, as you can see in the left bottom of my screen. You can also protect using a password. So let's do that right now. Okay, you do /c password and then a password, for example test, and then right click or left click your protection, your chest to protect it, and now it's protected with a password. Because I am logged in right now, I can open the chest without entering the password. But as soon as I relog, which I'm gonna do in a second, then I have to enter the password to open this chest. So let's relog. Well, I'm back on the server. Well, I can't open this chest right now, so let's do C unlock test, password accepted, and now I can open this password protected chest. Easy and handy if you want to protect doors and such with a password for your friends and such to get into without having to add them as members constantly. So let's add a new player to this basic protection. You can also do the same with the password protection, but to this basic protection let's add notch /c modify and then notch. Now left click protection while I'm right clicking because I am in creative mode, and now the rights are registered, so now notch can access this chest. Let's add another player, but then in admin mode, so they can destroy this protection when needed. /c modify, then an add sign, and then for example Peter. Then right click or left click the protection, and now you can see that I registered him as a new player as an admin. So now they can destroy this protection if needed, and they can access it if they want to. You can also add protection for groups. So if you have the VIP group on the server, you can also add that group. So let's do that again. C modify, then a G, double point, and then the group name, for example VIP, then enter, and then right click protection, and now I registered the rights for the group of VIP. Easy is it, isn't it? So now you want to remove a protection from a chest or door or something else, then you just do C remove, and press enter and then right click or left click the chest. The lock on the chest is now successfully removed. Now I can open it and don't get notice that it's locked because it isn't locked. I can do the same with this password protection. Says you remove, right click, and now there is no lock on that chest anymore. You can also make a public protection chest, so for or public door. So just C public and then enter and then right click the protection or left click the protection to protect it. Now other people can access it. Everyone can access that chest, for example, but they cannot private that chest or door or trapdoor or anything you want to protect. So that will block off people from privating this chest, for example, but they can still access it. So it's like that there is no protection at all on it, but it is protected against being privated by other people. Well, you can also enable magnet mode when it's enabled in the configuration. So just to C magnet on and then right click to apply the flag. Now if I throw this sign next to it, it's gone. Where is it? It's inside the chest. Yes, it's sucked into the chest. That's very handy if you want to pick up mob loots and such from spawners and such creativity. So let's apply a flag. Currently I've set it in the config to block off hoppers. So let's destroy this for a second and create a furnace and a chest here. Now I give myself a hopper and I do this and then give myself some items. So when I put apples in here, as you can see, nothing is sucked out of this chest. Well, and to enable the use of hoppers, you can turn it off, turn the protection off in the configuration, or you can do it in game with a flag. So let's do the flag. So let's do that. Just do /LWC flag hopper on, and then right click the chest or the trap chest, and then as you can see the apples are gone in this chest and put it into this hopper. If you want to receive items in a chest from a hopper, you do exactly the same, and as you can see the apples are going into this chest. So that's how you apply flags to your protections. Easy, isn't it? You can also use auto close, for example, on doors or trap doors or fence gates and such. So there are enough flags to play with. Well, that's it for this tutorial. I covered all the basics and the configuration of this plugin. For more information, check out the topic from this plugin, and see you all next time in the next plugin review / tutorial. Good luck!